What's up, shit? Timmy's here. Now, once in a while, almost every year, there'll always be that sort of film that will come out that get a lot of like a lot of bad reviews, lots of hate and stuff. But I will attempt to enjoy them. So I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite unpopular movies of the year. Movies that I enjoy, but many didn't. And majority of these will be controversial. So here is my list. Number 10 is the Amazon film that came out with Kevin James and Al Richardson in it called Playdate. Playdate, of course, stars James and Richardson. Where of course, like you got Kevin James who plays like this work, who of course this Count Brian, who joins that a stay-at-home dad played by Al Richardson for a play date with their sons, and he expects a layback afternoon. But instead, of course, they're chased by mercenaries here. And the movie is a lot of fun. The chemistry with Kevin James and Al Richardson is pretty decent. Definitely love the action. I mean, I had a fun time with this film. If you guys haven't seen it, it's not a great movie by any means, but it is a lot of fun in my opinion, and it's well worth watching. All right, number 9 is I Know What You Did Last Summer. I really had a fun time with the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. I mean, Chase Sue Wonders and Madeline Klein, I thought were really great working together. Of course, seeing like Freddie Prinze Jr., Jennifer Love Hewitt was pretty decent. Love the post credits scene with Brandon coming on. I'm actually one of the rare folks who did not mind that twist. Spoiler for I Know What You Did Last Summer. But of course, the twist with Freddie Prinze Jr.'s Ray becoming the killer. I actually did not mind that. I mean, I know there are people who are pissed off about that. It shows why Scream will never have the guts to ever pull something. Could you imagine watching a Scream movie and let's say Dewey becomes a killer and stuff? I mean, people will lose their mind. But actually, though, what Jennifer Kayla Robinson did with this one was a pretty decent film. I really do hope we get another one, but the box office did not do so well. So, yeah. All right. Coming in at number 8 is Karate Kid Legends. It did not really get, I shouldn't say it got like hater reviews. Like the Rotten Mail score, was pretty decent. It has like a 50 some percent. So I guess it's not like fully hated, but most people really found it to be underwhelming. I still thought Karate Kid Legends was a pretty decent one. Ben Wang is someone to keep your eye out for. I am going to be doing my top 10 favorite like breakout actors of the year, and Ben Wang will actually be on that top 10 list. But Karate Kid Legends, like seeing Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio together, I thought was pretty decent. I really quite like the callbacks to the original Karate Kid. The post-credit scene, spoiler, with William Zabka as Johnny Lawrence coming in, I thought was pretty cool. I mean, I really do hope we get another one, but the movie did not really do so well. So, I mean, Ralph Macchio says that he'll just like reboot the whole thing, but we'll see. All right, number 7 is Death of a Unicorn. Now, this of course came out all the way back in March, and it completely flopped. Now, Jenna Ortega, of course, starred in this one, and now she, of course, did do that weekend movie, which that's definitely not so good. But I had a fun time with Death of a Unicorn. I know Jenna Ortega, Paul Rudd was pretty decent. Taya Leone, really nice to see her back on the big screen. Because it's been quite some time she did a movie there. So, yeah, Richard E. Grant was good. I mean, I quite like the way the unicorn looked in this. I had a fun time with it, and it's a shame hardly no one wants to go see it, but it's not going to be a movie that will appeal to everyone. All right. Number 6 is Regretting You. Of course, based on a book by Colleen Hoover. I really thought Regretting You, I don't know why critics like bash on it. I thought it was a pretty decent one. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I even think it's better than the other Colleen Hoover one that came out with Blake Lively and To Us. I actually thought this was a better film in my opinion, but that's just me. Of course, McKenna Grace was great. Her chemistry with Mason Danes, which after seeing them both in this, I really think they could easily become the next like Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like I don't know why I'm getting a big Freddie Prinze Jr. and Michelle and Sarah Michelle Gellar vibe between those two. Allison Williams, Dave Franco was good in this one. I thought it was a really decent film, and yeah, I mean it was pretty touching at times. I really thought I thought McKenna was terrific in this. I mean, it's a really good one if you guys haven't seen it. All right, number 5 is Honey Don't. Now, this did not really get much love at the time, but I really quite enjoyed Honey Don't. Margaret Qualley, Chris Evans, Aubrey Plaza, I thought was great in this. Of course, here you got Margaret Qualley, who plays Honey O'Donoghue, who's a small town private investigator who delves into like a series of strange that's tied to this mysterious church. And I really quite like seeing Charlie Day, Billy Eichner, had some fun humor to it. I thought it was a really good one here, and it's a well worth watcher. Number 4 is Anaconda. Of course, this one actually just came out. Speaking of Paul Rudd, by the way. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could see why critics won't like it. I mean, it's not really a movie that will appeal to everyone. But I had a fun time with Anaconda. Jack Black, Paul Rudd was great. Love the cameos here and there. I quite liked how the snake looked here. I just had a fun time with this one. And if you guys haven't seen it, it's in theaters now. Give it a go. It's a fun film there. All right, number 3 is Megan 2.0. Of course, Megan 2.0 sadly was a huge flop, but I had a blast with it. I mean, I actually did not mind them like changing genres, like from it being a horror film to a sci-fi film. I know it actually pretty worked well here. I quite like the new villain here, Amelia. She was a really good villain. I just really quite enjoy this one so much. It's just a really decent one, and yeah, of course, also Allison Williams, like 2 Allison Williams movies on this list. Not the best year, like critics, not the best year for her with critics this year, but Megan 2.0 is a really fun one, and I do hope we get another one. But after the box office results, who knows? I mean, even that Megan spin-off, Soulmate, who knows if that's going to see the light of day. So, number 2 is Happy Gilmore 2. Now, like most of Adam Sandler movies, because Adam Sandler, I love Sandler. Even the films that get so much hate, whether it's like Grown Ups, whether it's Little Nicky and stuff. Even those movies, I really get a kick out of. I even have a soft spot for Jack and Jill. And I actually quite enjoyed Happy Gilmore 2. Like, it didn't get as bad reviews as most of his previous comedies, but most people were not a fan of it. So, I mean, was it as good as the original? Obviously not. But I still quite enjoyed it. I still had fun time with it. Love the cameos from Eminem to Travis Kelce, Bad Bunny. I mean, some really fun cameos here and there. I just had fun time with the sequel, and it's of course it was one of the most watched films on Netflix this year. So there's that. But yeah, I had a fun time having him watch it there. And my number 1 is way unpopular because majority of people mostly review batch this thing when it came out. And number 1 is Snow White. I mean, again, I would agree that Gal Gadot's Queen. Yeah, I mean, I will agree she wasn't a strong fit. But I still thought it was a really decent one. Like, I really quite like Rachel Zegler's song "Waiting on a Wish." I really quite like. I actually had a fun time with the dwarves. I thought they really were good here. I quite like the effects in this. Rachel Zegler, I know she gets so much hate for some ever reason, but I thought Rachel Zegler was really wonderful as Snow White. Like, even critics who did not like the film or admit that Rachel Zegler as Snow White was not the problem with the film at all. So even critics or anyone who did not like the movie would admit Rachel Zegler was a good Snow White, and she had a really great voice here. I mean, I thought it was a really decent one. Like, is it like one of the best films of the year? Obviously not, but I still thought it was a really decent watch, and it's if you guys haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus. It's well worth a watch at least. Sadly, it did not do so well in the box office, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's pretty much it there. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, Playdate. 9, I Know What You Did Last Summer. 8, Karate Kid Legends. 7, Death of a Unicorn. 6, Regretting You. 5, Honey Don't. 4, Anaconda. 3, Megan 2.0. 2, Happy Gilmore 2. And number 1 is Snow White. Now, a couple of honorable mentions I'd like to include. Let's see. Now, 20 years later, despite the reviews for that being pretty decent, so many people who did saw it was not a fan of it. So, yeah. Hell of a Summer. I actually did not mind the Minecraft movie. That was actually okay, but it's not in my top 10. Back in Action, the Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx film was pretty decent. A couple of horror movies like Screamboat, uh, Fear Street Prom Queen wasn't so bad. I probably could have included House of Dynamite because Craig still liked it, but so many people who have saw on Netflix was not a fan of it. So there's that. The Wrong Paris from Miranda Cosgrove. Tyler Perry's Medea's Destination Wedding. Some really fun ones there. Let me let you guys. What are some of your most unpopular films of the year? Like, what are some films that came out this year that so many people did not like, but you actually enjoyed? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Henry Saga.